In a historic moment last night, the U.S. Senate passed a bill to legalize same-sex and interracial marriage. 12 Republican senators joined their Democratic colleagues in support of it, and that included both senators from North Carolina. One was even a key negotiator. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie joins us live from the Legislative Building to explain why Thom Tillis took a lead on this. Laura.
Renee, it was just a decade ago when Tillis was the state House Speaker right here. He was one of the prime movers of the state's constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. Even at the time, he predicted that it would probably be overturned within a generation or two. Well, actually, it was overturned about 3 years later. In 2015, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that same-sex couples had the same right as other couples to be married. Tillis told WRAL recently that ruling is what changed his position on the issue. Well, this summer, when the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the right to abortion, Justice Clarence Thomas wrote that the court should also reconsider same-sex marriage and interracial marriage, since both of those rulings were based on the same legal argument as Roe versus Wade. Well, that's when members of Congress decided to put the right to marriage into federal law, just in case the high court should decide to reverse that ruling too. On the Senate floor last night, Tillis said the Respect for Marriage Act would simply preserve the status quo. He said it would provide security to the more than 1 million people in same-sex and interracial marriages, while preserving the right of religious organizations not to offer or sanction such unions.
Same-sex couples will continue to have the right to get married, now without the fear of government intervention. And churches and religious organizations will continue to operate and worship free from government interference. This is a good compromise. It's one that's based on mutual respect for our fellow Americans.
Now, as you said, Renee, Tillis and North Carolina's Senator Richard Burr were 2 of the 12 Republicans who joined Democrats to pass the measure. Their support angered social conservatives who said the bill doesn't provide enough protection for people who oppose same-sex or interracial marriage. LGBTQ advocates praised the passage of the bill, but said more protections are needed in areas like employment discrimination and housing. Renee?
Laura Leslie providing context to the Respect for Marriage Act. Laura, thanks.